Hello, and welcome to day 7 of the 14-day Business Advisory Practice Bootcamp. Today, we're talking about a strategy that most small business owners never consider, but smart entrepreneurs use this strategy to grow fast. It's micro mergers and acquisitions, plus small scale private equity partnerships. You're about to learn how to help your clients grow by buying and not just by building from scratch. Today's presentation is sponsored by Coleman Tanner Small Business Consulting, your source for strategic business solutions. By the end of this session, you'll be able to explain what micro M&A is and how it works for small businesses. Help clients identify acquisition opportunities in their niche, introduce private equity concepts without all of the Wall Street jargon, and position your service as a high-level growth strategy. This is real strategic business advisor territory because now you're helping your clients think like private equity fund managers and investment bankers and not just business operators. Micro M&A is exactly what it sounds like: small scale mergers and acquisitions. We're not talking billion-dollar deals and skyscrapers. We're talking local service-based businesses or product-based businesses, content websites, small product brands, or agencies changing hands for anywhere from $10,000 to $500,000 or more. Here's the power of acquisition. You skip the startup phase, you get immediate revenue and immediate customers, a book of business that you're walking into. You gain talent because they have employees already working for the company, tools because they have all the resources that make the business work day to day, or any other assets that they own, like intellectual property, like trademarks, patents, copyrights, and so forth, and trade secrets. All of that in a package overnight. Once you sign the contract, of course, you eliminate a competitor because you're buying that business. So now they're no longer competing against you, but working for you. For many clients, it's faster and cheaper to buy a business rather than to build it from scratch. Clients can grow through buying out a competitor, acquiring a book of business like client lists or contracts, purchasing an asset-rich business, something like a product line or intellectual property or equipment, or merging with a peer or partner to expand the reach of both parties. That would be a merger. Taking over a business from a retiring owner, which is very common right now as a lot of baby boomers are retiring out of their businesses and doing other things now with the rest of their lives. These are real world local deals, not just Silicon Valley stuff that you hear about in the news. Private equity in this context just means that you're using outside investors to buy or grow a business. Your client might partner with a friend, a mentor, or an angel investor. Then they might raise funds in a second round from a local business network of equity partners, equity investors, private equity fund managers. And they offer equity in exchange for capital in order to have strategic help. Because generally, when a private equity fund comes into the business, they bring their expertise along with it. Generally, 1 to 2 seats at the board of directors will be members of the private equity fund. So you get all of that expertise inside of your advisory panel, if you will. You don't need a private equity firm to do this. Really, you just need a plan, a deal, and a shared vision to get started. Then you can start working on building your team. You can support your business owner clients by helping them to first define what an acquisition target is. Secondly, research the local market or their niche deal flow, such as business listings, Facebook groups for acquisitions, and industry networks like Transworld Advisors or Sunbelt Microsystems or the International Business Brokers Association, where CBIs exist and have deals. Building a simple, or you can just go to bizbuysell.com. Building a simple acquisition checklist will help your business owner clients go step by step through the process of acquiring businesses. And you can also help connect them with lenders such as SBA loan lenders or commercial bank lenders or even a HELOC so that they can fund the acquisition of a small business, as well as connect them with the business brokers who can help facilitate the transaction of buying and selling a business, and connect them to investors so that they can buy more businesses and expand more rapidly, which I call quantum leaping your business. And you can help them by running the post acquisition planning, which includes things like standard operating procedures, rebranding, company culture fit, and a few more things that go along with that. In other words, once you help your client, your business owner client, acquire a business, the job doesn't stop there. You got to help them integrate that business into their existing portfolio of companies, or merge the two businesses together so they operate more as an enterprise level business as opposed to two small independent entrepreneurial endeavors. You're not just negotiating the deal, you're guiding the vision and the structure of the future enterprise level business, which is exciting, at least in my opinion. Now, your clients are going to want to know where they can find deals. And so here is a list of a few places that you can start with. As I mentioned previously, BizBuySell, there's Flippa, MicroAcquire, there's local meetup groups, Facebook groups, industry trade groups, vendor referrals. As I mentioned earlier, Sunbelt, Transworld Advisors, and the IBBA. And there's also networking, whether it be at your local Chamber of Commerce, the BNI, Business Networking International, your Rotary Club, Lions Club, and so forth. And there's also industry forums like the think about annual conventions and trade shows that you can go to for investors, for private equity fund managers, and so forth. And you're going to need some tools. So think about using ChatGPT for creating due diligence checklists, or for drafting your initial letter of intent that your client's going to use to make an offer on a property, a business. You can also use tools like Loom for recording a walkthrough of a deal so that you can educate your business owner clients. Another tool other than Loom that I use is called StreamYard, that also helps you do recordings so that you can share with your business owner clients on the step-by-step process that they'll go through in acquiring a business and or conducting a roll-up merger. You can also help them with creating a Google spreadsheet so they can track who they're reaching out to and the feedback they're getting from the business owners, so that they have a measurement of how many businesses they're contacting, how many contacts they're getting from their outreach, and moving forward towards closing deals, right? So let's say like you put in there that they reached out to 100 clients out of that, 100 business owners in their industry, and out of that 100 they had 10 conversations, 3 face-to-face meetings, and 1 closed transaction. It's a great way of tracking your progress with your client. And remember that you are the bridge between the idea and the execution. So having tools helps you facilitate the execution of mergers and acquisitions. Now, here are a few pro tips for new business advisors. To stand out as a scaling strategist, suggest acquisitions during annual strategy reviews. Help your clients identify their growth gap, which means this is where they are and this is where they want to be, and they can fill in that gap through acquisitions. And then you can also bundle this strategic planning, micro M&A planning, with cash flow forecasting and general strategic planning for business operations, conducting a SWOT analysis and so forth, and OKRs. You can also partner with local business brokers, lenders, especially business lenders that do SBA loans, or HELOC lenders. You can partner with a CPA and a micro M&A attorney and do workshops to educate business owners on the possibility of doing micro M&A transactions to grow their businesses and to one day sell their business, and how they can get exit multiple arbitrage by merging businesses together. Very valuable information, very valuable when they get ready to sell their business. And generally, they should start that process within 3 to 7 years out. And by doing so, by partnering up with these potential guest speakers at your events, like a lunch and learn event, it will put you in a room where big decisions are going to be made. All right, we're going to wrap things up now, and your day 7 homework assignment is as follows. I want you to choose a sample business or a real client that you have, and imagine one smart acquisition that that person can make, the business owner can make. Then I want you to use the workbook to map out the target, the benefits of acquiring that target, and the potential deal terms that will go into the letter of intent. You can use ChatGPT or other AI source to generate your due diligence checklist, or you can create a pitch deck outline. And for bonus points, please share what you find in the comments, right? Give us a glimpse of your idea in the comments. And as always, have fun when you're doing this task because it is helping you to build that muscle of being a strategic business advisor. And that wraps us up for the day. Great work. Thank you so much for participating in this mini workshop here on micro mergers and acquisitions and private equity funding. I know that it may sound advanced but to you right now, but I want you to know that it's going to make your your small business owner clients grow, think differently, and level up from working in their business to working on their business to working above their business. And the financial ramifications can be very profound if they utilize this. And you can help them take it from something that seems overwhelming to making it more practical for the small business owner. Tomorrow, we're going to go deep on cash flow optimization, one of the most in demand services for your business advisory toolkit. So get ready for day 8, and I'll see you then. Take care.